Alrighty, doing a little carnivore update here for today's video. And basically, I had about a week of experimentation there on my lion diet with adding some other things in. I am near the highway here, so hopefully it's not too loud, but I had a tire almost pop on my truck that I needed to change. And anyways, so I think it was about 16 weeks of being very strict with no experimentation, and I was seeing good results with the high fat and the very strict lion diet, the beef, salt, water. Over the past week, 2 weeks, had a little bit of coffee in there, here and there, which honestly I loved the idea of, but it didn't sit very well. I didn't have a great reaction in terms of how I felt. I felt a little amped up, a little jittery, a little anxiety, digestion didn't feel great. So I don't think the coffee was ideal, but I just really, I love that morning routine. I love the idea of just having a nice coffee. Anyways, that's why I wanted to try it out again. It just didn't go that great. I don't know, I could probably have a little bit here or there, but after the coffee, or along with the coffee, I was experimenting with a nootropic called Committed Mind, which is kind of it does have caffeine in it, but it's got some other good stuff for your brain, and I was kind of feeling pretty good on it, like getting a little boost of energy, and I was combining that with some kratom, which seems to be okay for me in really small doses. They recommend 1 to 2 grams, but I was doing half a gram, and it was just making me feel kind of good, kind of relaxed. But anyway, some of these things started to creep in. I was just trying to, not that I felt bad, I love experimenting with this stuff. I love having fun with different kind of biohacking experiments and different supplements and that type of thing. So I wanted to just have more fun with my diet and with my health experiments. So I started to add some of these things in, play around a little bit, and for the most part didn't start to see anything to any negative consequences from that. But there were a few more things that changed. I started having a few drinks here and there, just whiskey, but with whiskey and soda, like bourbon, clean whiskey, and even that on its own a little bit seemed fine. And then, like I said in the other video, I had one night where I had probably 6 or 7 drinks, and it was too much, and definitely felt the mental and mood effects of that the next day, and even the day after that. I think it takes a bit of a toll. So there was that, and then the other factor was some of this protein powder that I added in as well, which has stevia and natural flavors, which are both things that I've been off for almost 4 months. So the equation definitely changed with some of these different things, and I mean, it was definitely a deviation from the lion diet as it's defined, because I added these other things in, and they were all things that were to optimize my experience, right? Because we do want to optimize our experience, and we want to enjoy what we're doing, but that has to be balanced out with, ultimately, the question of, are you optimizing your experience? And sometimes to be optimizing your experience means you have to prioritize the diet that safeguards or promotes your mood. And if you compromise that, but you think you're getting benefits in other areas like coffee or different tastes, but overall you're not having that kind of positive mood, just feeling like yourself, feeling calm, feeling at peace, feeling happy, it can be tricky, but that's going to start to undermine your overall optimal experience. And you can kind of trick yourself and think, well, I'm getting to do other things now, so I think I'm good. But what I started to realize was I'm just not feeling as good now. I feel like I slipped away from just some of that zero carb zen, as they call it, and I feel like I'm just falling down the hill a little bit, and I'm I'm like regressing, and that's like a very frustrating, discouraging thought, but it's also just a lesson. So you need to reflect and think, hey, what do I need to do now to get back on track? How much of this is mental, or how much of this is my body actually telling me, okay, this isn't working as well? So all this is to say is going back to the strict lion diet now for, the foreseeable future, but definitely like a couple weeks here of maybe some kratom, but that would be the only other deviation, which is kind of just more like a supplement than a food. But just got to experiment again, see how the caffeine was affecting me, see if these natural flavors, if that protein powder was affecting me. So I'll report back on that. But the main thing is just learning to optimize your experience and to be honest with yourself. So that's my carnivore update. I'm going to really prioritize fat again. For the most part, I have those fat trimmings to keep my carnivore diet in a ketogenic ratio. And sometimes I've deviated from that a little bit as well. So I'm going to try to be more on top of it with that. I will give an update on that down the road, but that's all for now. Get back on the path. How can you optimize your experience today, and how can you keep getting better? That's all for today. I'll be back with another video soon.